Hello friends, welcome to a new video on how to build program logic. In this program, we are going to see how to build logic to find LCM of two numbers using recursion. So what is that we are going to see in this particular video? First, examples of calculating LCM using recursion, then how to build logic for this program, then actual steps for finding LCM using recursion, then the actual program of LCM using recursion, then we'll do a trigram with number 63 and 81. And always focus on the logic building part. Right, so let's look at the examples. Numbers are 63 and 81. We start dividing these two numbers with 2 and we see whether the final result comes to 0, right? And both these numbers should be completely divisible by the number 2, right? And 2 does not divide these two numbers completely. Right, then we try with number 3, the next value, and 3 does divide 63 and 81 completely, and therefore the answer is yes. So what we do next is that we reduce the values to their quotient. So 63 becomes 21 and 81 becomes 27, and we again try to divide this by 3, right? And here again 3 divide both these numbers, and therefore we reduce these numbers to their quotient. It becomes 7 and 9, right? And we again try to divide them by 3. 3 of course cannot divide both these numbers simultaneously. It can divide 9 but not 7, okay? And therefore we try with the next value 4 and 5 and 6, okay, and again 7, right? 4, 5, 6, 7 cannot divide these two numbers completely simultaneously, and therefore what we do is that we stop here. We have reached the value of the number and we cannot go any further, right? We know that any higher number cannot divide value 7 completely, okay? And so what we do is that we take these values which we have at the end, 7 and 9, and also those divisor values which could completely divide the number values simultaneously, and we do their product. So 3 into 3 into 7 into 9, and what we get is 567, which actually is the LCM of these two numbers, 63 and 81. So now how to build logic for this particular program, okay? So we need to first identify small, repetitive, simple steps, right? So here, finding the common divisor and replacing the numbers with their quotient, a simple step to do. We every time just divided these two numbers with a divisor value, right? And then operation, well, the very same operation which was reducing the number value to their quotient value was actually reducing the complexity of the values, right? So what are the steps? First, divide both the numbers by a divisor value starting from 2. If this divisor value can completely divide these two numbers, we reduce the number to their quotients, right? If it cannot, then you increase the value of quotient by 1, right? Then we have a base condition as divisor value is either of these two numbers or their quotient, okay? When the divisor value reaches this particular number value or the quotient value, that is where we stop, right? And what we do is we return the product of the numbers in at the end when the base condition is met, okay? And otherwise what we do is that we return the product of the previous result, okay, previous return value, and the divisor which was common, which could completely divide both the numbers, not otherwise, right? So So we start with the main function of this particular program. So include statements, main function bracket, open bracket, close. Then we declare two variable first and second to get those two numbers. Then rec LCM function with 3 parameters, all of type int, right? Then we have printf statement, we have a scanf function to accept the two values, and then we have a printf statement in which we make the rec LCM call, and in which we are going to pass first and second, first two arguments, and the value 2k, which is going to be the initial value of our divisor. Then the get ch statement returns 0 statement, and that will end our main function. So now let's look at the code of the rec LCM function. So we have this rec LCM function with three parameters: first, second, and DVSR. First will have value of first argument, second will have the value of second argument, and DVSR will have the value 2. Bracket open, bracket close. Now what we need to do is that we need to check whether these two values of first and second are completely divisible by the DVSR value, and that too in the same step, right? So we'll have first the condition to check whether first is completely divisible by DVSR, and along with that whether second also is completely divisible by DVSR. Only when these two conditions are true, that means when DVSR can completely divide the values of first and second completely in the very same step, we will say that condition is true, right? And then accordingly we'll call the function. Now what we are going to do here is that we are going to make use of the conditional expression operator, right? See, we have to do two things here. Okay, we'll make the function call in two cases. First case, where the DVSR can completely divide the value of first and second simultaneously. Second case, where it cannot, right? In the first case, when it can divide, then we have to reduce the value of first and second to its or to their quotient, right? And if it cannot divide, in that case we'll have to make the function call with the same values of first and second. The values of first and second will not change, but the DVSR value will increase by 1, right? And therefore we are going to make use of a conditional expression operator. Okay, so question mark. Okay, and if the condition is true, our second expression, that is going to be the rec LCM call with the arguments as first by divisor, so the quotient of first by divisor operation, second argument second by divisor, so its quotient, and finally third argument the same value of DVSR or divisor which could completely divide first and second. That value will not change. This is going to be called when DVSR completely divides both first and second, right? But if this is not true, so the third expression of the condition operator, in that case rec LCM function, and that is going to have the same value of first and second. Their values will not change, but the DVSR value will be increased by 1, right? Now we also have to have base condition. So our base condition, we are going to have the DVSR value if it reaches greater than first half or second half. In that case we are going to stop any further function call. Now why half? Although in our step we have said that DVSR reaches or should reach either of these number values, right? So going up to half also is sufficient. Why? You can see our prime number program video, and in that this reason is clearly explained with a very good example. We'll not repeat the same concept again here, right? And if the base condition is true, what we return is that we return the product of first and second. Okay, so these are going to be the last values first and second will have. Okay, and there won't be any further change to these values, right? But we also have to return values otherwise when the base condition is not met. So we have to have a return statement, right? And what we return the very same value when there is not going to be any division, but we return the product of the common divisor and the return value when there is going to be complete division of first and second by DVSR. Okay, so we are going to have divisor into the return value. Now how this actually works, we'll see that in a dry run. So let's look at dry run. We will assume that the main function was called. The user entered value 63 and 81 for first and second, and then the rec LCM function was called. Okay, so this is our first call to rec LCM, and first, second, and device are going to have values 63, 81 and 2 respectively, right? Condition is checked, condition is obviously not true, so the control goes to the return statement, rather the condition of the conditional expression operator. So this condition is checked. Can 2 divide first and second completely? The answer is no, the condition is false. So the control jumps to the third expression of condition expression operator, that is the part after the colon statement. So control goes to this particular call. Here the rec LCM function is called again with the same value first and second, but with the increased value of DVSR. Okay, and then the call is made, which is going to be the second call to rec LCM. So we are in the second call right now. Okay, first and second and DVSR parameters are initialized. They will have values 63, 81 and 3 this time, right? If condition is checked, which is false, control goes to the condition statement, right? The condition is checked. This time DVSR can completely divide values of 63 and 81. Okay, and therefore the control goes to the second expression of the conditional expression operator, which is one after question mark but before the colon, and in that there is a function called to rec LCM, and that is what is going to be called, right? Here the arguments will be first pair DVSR means 63 by 3, second argument 81 by 3 and the same value of D. So we are in the third call to rec LCM, okay, and in this case the values will be 21, 27 and 3. Why? 63 by 3, 81 by 3 and the same value of DVSR. Okay, those are going to be our values for first, second and DVSR parameters. Again, if condition is checked, okay, condition is false, control goes to the conditional statement condition, right? Condition again is true, and therefore the rec LCM function of the second expression is called with the values first by DVSR, that means 20 by 1 by 3, 27 by 3 and the same value of DVSR. So we go to the fourth call, rec LCM function is called with the values of first, second, DVSR at 7, 9 and 3, right? Condition is checked, condition is false. We go to the condition of the conditional expression operator. Here the condition again is false. So we go to the third expression. Rec LCM is called with the same values of first and second, but with the increased value of DVSR, right? And then we go to fifth function call. Here the condition is checked after assigning values to first, second and DVSR. Right now the value of DVSR is 4, which is obviously greater than half of 7. 7 half is 3.5. Okay, and therefore this value is greater, and therefore this time the if condition is true, and therefore the return first into second will be executed, and it will return the value 63. Okay, this is returned to this function's previous call, which is call number 4. We are right now in call number 5, so we go to call number 4. We are back in call number 4 of rec LCM, right? Now call number 5 was done from call number 4 at this particular position. Why? Because in this particular call, that is call number 4, DVSR value 3 could not divide the first and second value, and therefore the control went to this particular call, and this is where the fifth call was made, and therefore when the value which is returned, it is going to replace this particular function call. Okay, so value returned is put here, right? And this is going to be returned again to the call which made the fourth call, which is call number 3. So we go to call number 3, right? And in case of 3, what had happened was 3 could divide the values of 21 and 27. Okay, that is the value, that were the values of first and second in this particular call. And that means when call number 4 happened, it happened at this particular location, right? And therefore this is where the return value will be replaced. Okay, and therefore this function is replaced with the return value 63, right? And this in further is multiplied with the DVSR value. Okay, if you remember the step, you multiply the return value with the common divisor, because this time divisor could multiply the first and second variable values. Okay, so we multiply this value with DVSR value. DVSR value in this call was 3, so 63 into 3 becomes 189, and this is what is returned to the previous call. Okay, so call number 3 was done by call number 2. So we are back in call number 2. Here again, DVSR could divide the values of first and second, 63 and 81. Okay, and therefore the replacement will be done here, right? And this will multiply with DVSR value to get the result of 567. And this is what is returned to this function's previous call, which was call number 1. So back in call number 1, here the DVSR value could not divide the value of 63 and 81. Okay, and therefore when the call was made to call number 2, it happened here, and this is where the replacement will happen, right? And this value will be written, right, to this function's previous call, and this function call was made by the main function. Okay. Okay, and this call was done here at this particular position, and therefore this will be replaced by 567. Print statement will execute to print the result. LCM is 567.
Friends, if you found this video useful, then please like it. Do subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button. Also share this video and playlist with your friends. Thank you for watching.